We're going to start example 4, page 192 again. Okay, it says water is pumped into a swimming pool at a rate of 5 gallons per minute. 5 gallons per minute. Initially, the pool contains 200 gallons of water. So 200 gallons initially. Okay, what does initially mean? What it's starting out with, right? So the volume with respect to T, so we're going to say that the volume with respect to T is, the B is going to be what? If we know that this is a linear function, then what's the B going to be? Well, the B is what it initially started with again, right? 200. And if this is a changing thing, 5 gallons per minute changes, then we're going to have 5 times T plus 200. Okay, so T we know is going to be the time. And the time is going to be in terms of minutes because we have minutes here. So our formula, 5T plus 200. Now the next part of the question said, if the pool has a capacity of 600 gallons, how long will it take to totally fill the pool? So it has a 600 gallons that it can have totally. So what is the 600 going to plug in for? Well, the 600 is going to plug in for the V of T. This is not V times T, this is volume with respect to time. So that's function notation, just like f of x. So I'm going to say 600 plus, not plus, equals 5T plus 200. So now we're solving for T, right? So what do I do to solve for T? I subtract 200 from both sides. This cancels to be 0. 400 equals 5T. So now what do? I divide by 5. So this gives me T equals 80. Now, what does 80 stand for? What is 80 telling us? We have to interpret our answer then, right? So we know T is going to be 80 minutes. But how long did it take to totally fill the pool would be 80 minutes. So that's where the 80 stands for. 80 minutes is how long it takes to totally fill the pool. Give everybody a chance to get that written down first. Everybody caught up? Okay, the last one we're going to look at is, again, in example 5 on page 194. Okay, we're going to start with a picture. So we have a picture that looks like this. It says, find a linear function to model h, the height of the trim board above the ground, above the floor. Okay? So we're looking at, this is going to be a staircase, and this is the trim board back here, this line. Okay? So we're going to start out with h of x equals mx plus b. So the height of the trim board above the floor. So that's why we call it h for height. And this is my mx plus b then, right? So what does b stand for again? B stands for where it is what? Where it starts, right? So if we look over here at this initial starting point, it's 8 up from the ground, right? So it's crossing at 0, 8. So my b is going to be 8. My slope, though, I don't give a rise over run, but I do give 2 points. So you have this point and this point then, right? So we're going to use that to find the slope, okay? So we had our slope formula m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So our 2 points are 36, 32. And 12, 16. So I'm going to label this as x sub 1, y sub 1, and this one is x sub 2, y sub 2. So y sub 2 minus y sub 1 is going to give me 32. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 is 16. And then the other side is going to be x sub 2 is 36. Minus x sub 1, which is 12. So we subtract those, and we end up with 16 over 24. But now 16 over 24 reduces. So what do we see? 8 comes out of both of them, so I get 2 over 3. So my b is 8, and my m is 2 over 3. So I end up with h of x equals 2/3 x plus 8. So that gives me my function. And then it says the space for the staircase is 11 feet wide. How high does the staircase reach? Okay, so x is measured in inches. So we have to change the 11 feet into inches first. So I have 11 feet. How do I change feet to inches? I multiply by 12, so 11 times 12 gives me 132 inches wide. So that's what I plug in to find the height then, right? I plug in that x. Let's move it over so you can see better. Okay, so we end up with h of 132 equals 2/3 times x, which is 132. That's our input, h of x, plus 8. And that gives me 96 when I do it out on my calculator. So 96 what? Inches, because 132 is inches, so 96 inches. But we don't want to know how many inches, we want to know how many feet. So now we go backwards. Up here we multiplied by 12, now we're going to divide by 12. So 96 divided by 12 gives me 8 feet. So the staircase will be 8 feet high at a width of 11 feet. Thank you very much. Bye.